All right, welcome back to Photoshop. So you should be noticing something a little bit different. As you can see, my picture is up here in the top right-hand corner. Look, it's nothing fancy. I don't make enough money doing these Photoshop videos to set up some sort of elaborate background for you guys to look at. I'm not going to waste the time doing it. The goal of these tutorials is to teach you and give you informative information pertinent to adjusting photos. Look, I'm not trying to show you these crazy things that you can do in Photoshop because most of them aren't realistic. I'm just trying to show you how to use the program. So I've added myself up here. You guys get to look at me today. If we decide we like it, we'll keep it. If we decide that we don't like it, on. So what are we going to do today? So today we're going to take a quick look at properties and all this stuff in here. Now, properties didn't used to have all this stuff in here. It was basically just when you would come up here and select something like an adjustment curve, it would pop up and stuff, and now they're all open. So let's start off on the beginning. Canvas. What in the world does canvas mean? And one of the cool things that you're going to see is basically up here in the menu, all these things exist already. They already have their own kind of drop down. This is just a quick localized way to get to a whole bunch of different stuff. You can use it this way or you can use it the old way. It doesn't make a difference. It's just a different way to approach the program. So canvas size, canvas is located under image. You would drop down to canvas size and this canvas size window pops up. Now, when you do this, you are going to have more options under the canvas size. But to just do basic things here, it's going to be pretty simple. Right here, we're working in pixels because you can see up here, my ruler's in pixels, so it's automatically using pixels. Now, what canvas size is used for is to extend the area around your image. The image right now is everything that we have in this photo right now. Well, what if I want to create a border or a frame or more room around this? So maybe I could put something like type. In that case, we can increase what we call the canvas size. We'll show you how to do this. First thing you need to know is there's a little link here. This link will keep the proportions of the image. Right now, this is a 2:3, 4:6 ratio image. If I select this like this, it's going to keep that ratio when I do the canvas size. And I'll show you in a second. However, most of the time, you don't want that selected. And I will show you why. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase both the width and the height by 500 pixels. So I'm going to go 500, tab, and you can see it's putting 250 pixels here, 250 pixels here, and that equates to 500 pixels. So if I want to do that on the height, I come over here and I type in the same thing. 500, tab, boom, just like that. We've got an increased canvas size of 250 pixels on each side of the image. Now let me go back, and what I will do in this case is I'm going to click this little link. I'm going to change this to 6500. Some reason it changed out of pixels. And what I'm going to do, you're going to see now that this has done this, it's automatically going to add some canvas size to this, but it's going to keep that 4:6 ratio. So when I hit tab, it automatically made that 433 pixels. And you can see this side has more, this side has less. However, the ratio is still the same. It doesn't matter which way you do it. It really kind of just depends on what you want to do. In this case, I'm going to remove that. We're going to go ahead and change this back to 4,500. That's right. We'll hit return. And now we've got 500 pixels added to width and height on this image, and we have an increased canvas size. So let's go down to the next thing that we have here. And I'm going to go ahead and close canvas just so this gets up here easier. The first thing that we have are view rulers. Now rulers are right here. You can hit Command R or Control R to bring them up, or you can just click this on and off and it will hide and show your rulers. Now you can go into your preferences and change whether you want this to be in inches, pixels, millimeters, centimeters, whatever you want. In my case, I use pixels. Right here are some grid lines. So if I click this, it's going to give us grid lines so we can see if things are level or not. Not something that I actually ever use. And the last thing here is to show transparency and gamut settings. Go in here. Notice here is our preferences for transparency. Remember, transparency is shown by this black and gray grid. In this image at this point right now, we do not have any transparency, so there's no sense to show it because we don't have any. The next thing that we have, guides. So guides are these little things that you've accidentally brought up but didn't know what they were or how they got there. So if you ever drag something down and you're like, oh crap, how do I get this blue line in my photo? I don't want this blue line. How do I get rid of it? Well, it doesn't actually show up. So if I was to print this, it wouldn't show up in your print. It's just a guide and it's used in layout. What I did is I went up here into the rulers in this little area. I click and hold, and as I drag, I can get a new. Guides are located under view, and then you drop down to guides, and there's a whole bunch of different things. It's actually pretty sophisticated if you need it to be. But in this case, I have a whole video on guides. If you want to watch that, go find the video and check it out. Now, guides are used to lay out, to add type to. They can be used for print. So if you've ever seen the bleed, now to move a guide, once you've got it in, you need to go up here to the move tool, and then it will allow you to do it. So if you ever seen an image that might have a bleed on it, you're going to see all four of these. I'm not going to lay them out perfect, but this is showing you where your bleed or where your image might be trimmed at when you use it. Okay. So that's something that you would see these used for. Or if you're doing design with type, you'll see guides in here because maybe they're going to put a headline here. So the way it works is you would come down here, add some type, it will snap to that line. And then you can make sure if you had something here and something here, they're both on the same location. Guides are pretty useful. If you want to hide your guides, it's pretty easy. You can just come over here now and click this and it hides them away. Or you can show them or hide them using Command or Control semicolon. So I'm using the keyboard, Command or Control semicolon, that will hide and show them. So this is hiding your guides. We can lock the guides so that they can't be moved. And the last option here is view smart guides. Now we don't have any smart guides set up, so we're not going to see any. We can control how the guides are viewed. So if we want it in a dotted line instead of a solid line, you can simply switch that and show it up. So those are guides. Those are basically layout options. And the last one, and probably the more important one, is image sizing. So instead of going all the way over here to image and dropping down to image size, if you want to bring up your image size, you can simply click on here and that's going to bring up your image size box. We can crop our image from here. So we can hit crop, we can get our little crop guidelines. I'm going to go ahead and hit escape because we don't want that. We can trim. Now, most people don't know what trim means. And let me hit escape. Let me get out of that crop box. Now, let me explain what trim is because most people have never used it. And it's going to take me a second to think about where this is at. I think it's under image. Yeah, image trim. Okay, so that's where the normally is located. So in this case, we've laid or adjusted our image and made our canvas size bigger. A lot of times this is on a translucent background, but this will also work with the white background. If we click on trim, this box comes up. And this is important. Since we don't have any transparent pixels is not available at this moment because we don't have any. If we did, this would be highlighted. In this case, we can either do this by the top left pixel color, which is white, or the bottom right pixel color, which is white. So you could choose either one of these, it wouldn't make a difference. And then you can trim away whatever you want. So if I just want to trim away the top, I can hit OK, and boom, it trims the top down to that line. I'll hit Command Z to do this again, or I could trim away on all sides. So instead of trying to go in here and crop this away perfectly, I can trim that canvas size back away and it will trim that image. The last thing that we have here is rotate. Very similar. We can go clockwise or counterclockwise. You put in the number that you want. So in this case, we will do 25. I'll hit OK and boom, it rotates at 25 degrees clockwise. And that's what's inside the properties window of Adobe Photoshop. If you have any comments or questions, don't forget to leave the comments below. And don't forget, we have a Facebook page. The link is down below. A lot of times people ask me questions and almost impossible for me to answer them because I can't see your screen. The Facebook page allows you to post an image or a video, and I can see what you're doing, and that makes a huge difference when I'm trying to show you what to do. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.